What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Sister Wife Season 4, Episode 14. Let's talk about Garrick and Danielle. So we find out in this episode that it was all a game. It was all a con game that Roberta was playing on Garrick and Danielle. So this episode starts off with Danielle crying hysterically as if someone had died, the way she was crying. It was just uncontrollable crying, hyperventilating, clutching her chest like her heart was like literally hurting. She was doing the most. She was doing the absolute most. Well, come to find out, well, in my opinion, she wasn't really crying because they lost Roberta. She was crying because they lost a whole bunch of damn money and got nothing to show for it and got no return on their investment. So she's crying hysterically. She tells us that Roberta's not coming. They talk about how they have built this house, specifically for a plural family in the anticipation of Roberta joining them. They talk about how they had gotten a divorce for Roberta. Well, that's all on you. The house, of course, you can still enjoy the home with or without Roberta. But the whole thing about getting divorced so that he can marry Roberta, that was stupid. It was asinine. To me, it was so unnecessary. Y'all were putting all of your eggs in one basket. It just made no sense. So no one has any sympathy for y'all on that part about the fact of, y'all had to get a divorce just so that Garrett can marry Roberta. That was stupid. Danielle says that she's not just hurting us, she's hurting our kids and our family. Say what now? Because you were already introducing this woman to your children. What are you talking about hurting your kids? I don't understand that. And hurting your whole family. Your family didn't want this to happen to begin with. Your family wasn't even really like gung-ho about this. Garrick's family, I think they were not supporting this at all. I don't think they are supporting him in this whole plural lifestyle thing. And her family, I'm like, your brother didn't like it. Your brother and his wife didn't like it, Danielle. And your parents were just trying to support because you're their kid. I don't think that they're going to lose any sleep about Roberta not joining y'all in this plural relationship. They might lose some sleep with the fact that y'all lost a whole bunch of damn money, but I don't think they're going to lose any sleep because Roberta's not going to be coming to Colorado. Danielle questioned why Roberta didn't say anything while they were still in Brazil. Why did she have to break up with them over text? And then she tells us that she was sending Roberta all of this wedding information, to get her opinion about the venue, about this and that, about the wedding. And Roberta was not responding because obviously by this time, Roberta had already made up her mind that she wasn't going to be wasting any more time on Garrick and Danielle. When it came time to put up, she disappeared. When it came time for her to get on that damn, because I didn't understand if they were going to go all the way to Brazil to confirm that she was going to be joining them in the United States. The fact that she did not leave with them at that time, wouldn't that have been a clue that she had no intent? Because there was no reason for her not to get on that plane with them and go with them to the United States. She knew they were coming. So while she was waiting for them to arrive in Brazil, she could have been getting all of her affairs in order. She could have been doing all of her packing, all of that stuff, dealing with her mom, tying up all of her loose ends, so that when they arrived in Brazil, spend a couple of days in Brazil, and then they would all have left together. But the fact that they left without her, I don't know why that wasn't a huge red flag. I mean, of course, there were like a plethora of huge red flags in this whole situation. But y'all should have known that maybe she wasn't going to come if she didn't leave with y'all. Anyways, whatever. The sister-in-law says, so you guys were so committed to her and helping take care of her mom. And then they tell the family that Roberta had asked for a large sum of money right before she broke up with them. And they sent it to her. And as soon as the check cleared, it was over. It was a done deal. She broke up with them. And the amount that she had asked for was $9,800, basically $10,000. And after she got the $10,000, it was over. Somebody asked, I think it was a sister-in-law or maybe the brother, I don't know, but somebody asked them, well, how much have y'all given her altogether? They didn't really want to give an amount. And I'm pretty sure if I was them, I wouldn't either. It was stupid enough to give her $10,000 in a lump sum. But they said they were sending her money monthly. They were supporting her whole entire lifestyle. They were giving her money monthly. Roberta's excuse, she sent this long text, I guess to Garrick, but Danielle was reading it. I don't know. Maybe she sent it to both of them. Who knows? But Danielle was reading the text. Roberta sent this long text saying basically that she had to break up with them because she didn't feel comfortable with the relationship between Garrick and Leah. This whole situation was completely the Garrick's fault. I say the Garricks, the Merrifield's fault. It was all of their fault because of the fact that I don't even have the time to explain why, but the fact that Danielle was parading Leah in front of Roberta after Roberta initially made it known that she was not comfortable with them or with Garrick seeing another woman while she was still in Brazil. The way that they presented it to us, and I can only go by what I see with my own eyeballs on my own television screen. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on before they began filming. I can only go by what I saw. And from what I saw in the very beginning of the season, when Leah was introduced to us, and we were seeing how Danielle kept on pushing Leah on Roberta. Every time, every chance she got, Danielle was like, let's call Roberta. Let's call Roberta. Let's call Roberta. So that Roberta and Danielle can see each other, so that they can communicate, so that they can start establishing some type of a bond. And Leah had said from the very beginning that she has tried to reach out to Roberta, that she has tried to get along with Roberta, and Roberta was just not having it. She was not interested at all. And I say all of that to say this. Y'all basically gave her an out on a silver platter. And that out was named Leah. Danielle, if you had stopped pushing this whole Leah thing so aggressively on Roberta, it would have been interesting to see how Roberta would have weaseled her way out of this relationship when it came time for her to get on that damn plane. But because you handed her a reason to get out of the relationship and to keep your money, you gave her a reason already wrapped up in some pretty wrapping paper with a beautiful bow on top. You gave her a reason to get out of this relationship. And it was so obvious that Roberta was not feeling Leah. Leah was not feeling y'all. Garrick really wasn't feeling Leah. But Danielle kept on pushing. Let's call Roberta. Let's call Roberta. Let's talk to Roberta, with Leah there. Because I want to know, what excuse would Roberta have given if Leah never existed? What reason would she have given to get out of this whole relationship and to keep y'all's money? Because maybe she would have used her mom as an excuse. Maybe she would have said, oh, my mom's gotten worse, I have to stay here with her. But then they could easily have gone back to Brazil and see how the mother was doing and try to get her to come. And still anyway, whatever. But it was stupid. This whole Leah thing was stupid. Y'all, Roberta hadn't even set foot in the United States when already y'all were dating somebody else. Nobody was feeling anybody. The only person who was happy and giddy was Danielle, because she was using Leah to create tension between Garrick and Roberta, in my personal opinion. And I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. So now, I don't know what Danielle was thinking. I'm thinking, when I was watching this most recent episode, I'm thinking, okay, is Danielle serious about this heartache and all of this crying? Is she serious about this? Because Garrick did not have near as much of an emotional reaction as Danielle did. And Garrick was the one that was, directly involved with Roberta in this really intimate, close relationship. Because every time Roberta came around, Garrick would break down and cry because he was so overwhelmed with emotion and love for her. But the whole breakup, Garrick is completely dry-eyed, no emotional response. I don't know if he was dazed and confused. I don't know if he was shell-shocked that his girlfriend broke up with him. I have no idea what was going on with Garrick, but he did not have the same visceral reaction as Danielle did. Danielle acted like, she had to be hospitalized. She was so affected by all of this. And you would have thought, with Garrick being the main breadwinner and all the money that they've spent on Roberta, that you would have thought that Garrick would have had more of a reaction, whether sadness, grief, anger, pissed offness, something. He would have reacted in some way, but he was like very stoic, cool, calm, and collected. And I was just so confused about that. I don't know if he's in cahoots with Roberta. We're going to act like you're breaking up with us, and then we're going to act like we're trying to reconcile. Then I'm going to try to, come back to Brazil and see you this time. Just, just be me by myself. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. Danielle was crying to her family about, we had so much high hopes for her, and we were so committed to her, and I was going to have a sister, and, we were going to Garrick was going to give her kids. I mean, just like giving her an opportunity to have children. Just like really broken up about all of this. Which, to me, another point that I want to make, another reason why I was so confused about Danielle's reaction is that Roberta and Danielle were not even that close. They were not even that close. And Danielle, painting this picture of my sister, they were not even that close. And they were not that close. They were not like best friends. It was none of that. None of that. So I don't understand why Danielle is like, I didn't understand why she was acting the way she was acting. I was like, if you're not this emotional about the money that you've lost, then what the hell are you emotional about? If you're emotional because your husband lost your girlfriend, he doesn't seem to care that much about that. If you're emotional because you lost a sister, y'all didn't seem to be that close. If it's not the money, then what the hell is it? And I'm thinking, there's nothing as important as y'all losing. That money could have gone to y'all's children. Anyways, maybe they have a tree that grows money and they don't really care. So they're still seeking a sister wife. Okay. They're still seeking a sister wife. They tell the family that we're still in this whole plural thing. We're going to try to find, we're going to, go back on the dating scene and try to find someone else to replace Roberta. They tell us at the very end of the episode that they have not spoken to Roberta since Roberta sent her a text, and that they are dating a new woman who they plan to meet in Mexico, and she's from Brazil. Now, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, another Brazilian, because it's not about the culture or the race or anything like that. It doesn't matter. But I need Garrick and Danielle to not support other people's lifestyles. If someone is genuinely interested in joining y'all in this whole plural marriage thing, they're not going to expect you to give them money. Please stop giving people money. You have children who I believe are still minors. That money can go to their future. If nothing else, just give it to your children to play with. If you don't want to put it in a college fund or invest it for them, just give it to them to play with. Damn it. Stop giving your money to other people. Moving on. April and Nick, I don't care about them. April, Nick, and Jennifer, they had a commitment ceremony. I didn't even watch it. I fast forward through most of it. Didn't really care. Only thing that I want to say is that Jennifer has no stretch marks, which is a bonus. And Nick and his brother look a lot alike. Obviously, they're brothers, but they look really, really alike. And it was interesting to see those two little men together. I enjoyed that. Everybody's happy. They had a commitment ceremony. Danielle is officially now part of the harem, and she's gonna officially, change her name. And Nick is living the life. He's got three women now to take care of him, to cater to him, satisfy all of his needs and wants. Their big, humongous bed came in. So that's going to be a whole bunch of fun. They had the baby. The baby was born June the 29th of this year, and it was a baby girl. They bought a larger home. So things are great for April, Nick, Jennifer, and Danielle. The Foleys moved into their new home. This is Steve and Brenda. They moved into their new home. They did not ask April to move in with them because I'm pretty sure Brenda just wasn't having it. I think Brenda was having a lot of issues with April, and she finally convinced Steve to stop fooling with her. And so now they're dating a new woman, and this is someone that Steve went to high school with. So she is of age. Hopefully, if they're going to come back with another season, we get to see the Foleys actually live in a plural lifestyle, not just dating and going to dinner occasionally with whoever they're dating. I need to see the dynamic of what it's like when everybody moves in with one another. The Jones family, Tasha, Sidian, and Ariel. The Jones and their children took a trip to the Philippines to meet Ariel, and they started the K-1 visa process. It'd be interesting if they were a 90-day fiance as a plural family. The Epps family, they had a change of heart, and they're still dating Bina and Janae. Like I said, Janae, you're still sticking around because there's something about this lifestyle that piques your interest. I guess Bina has calmed down and she's willing to tell Marcus where the hell she's going, what the hell she's doing at all hours, of the day and night. She has no problem with Marcus keeping tabs on her. And Marcus and India plan to get married. Now, that was confusing to me because I thought Marcus and Taryn were legally married. Or did they file for divorce? I don't remember. I thought Marcus and Taryn were legally married. So do they mean that he's going to marry India? He's going to have a commitment ceremony with India. So they're dating Bina and Janae. Janae's back in the fold. And he's also dating other women as well. And that is the end of Seeking Sister Wife. It was a very blasé, very boring season. Extremely boring. Of course, Danielle and Garrick, they kind of kept it interesting. But I watch Seeking Sister Wife because I want to see the dynamic of plural lifestyles in action. I want to see what it's like when they all move in together. Are they all still going to get along? What's it like once the extra people have moved into the home and they're trying to integrate into the family? That is what I want to see. I don't care about the dating. I don't care about the going out to eat once in a blue moon. I don't care about none of that. I want to see the dynamic of these people living together. Like when you add in, because it's saying seeking sister wife, meaning that they're looking for a sister wife. So I want to see what is it like once the sister wife has moved in. Not the dynamic of the people that are already living together. I want to see the dynamic of when you add a new person in. That's what I wanted to see. And I got none of that. None of that. Roberta never came to the United States. With April, Nick, Jennifer, and Danielle, it almost happened, but it ended as soon as they did the commitment ceremony. So who knows what it was. I mean, if they would have started there, if they just would have started, but maybe the whole thing is, maybe that's why the show is called Seeking. It's all about the seeking process, the looking for process. Maybe that's why they call it that. It's not even about them living together. It's about the seeking part. Because they ended April, Nick, Jennifer, and Danielle's story as soon as they did the commitment ceremony, which I felt like that's where it should have started. The Foleys, April never moved in. Epps, nobody ever moved in. Jones, they're out there going back and forth between the States and the Philippines. Who knows when she's going to show up? Yeah, whatever. if I get an inkling that the next season is similar to this, you know, where it's like nobody moving in, it's just all about the dating part, I may not be that invested in it the next time around. You know, fool me once, okay? Fool me once. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I hope my reviews were nowhere near as boring as the damn show. They probably were. I could only work with what they gave me. Thank you so much. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please subscribe. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.